Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. And now I'm replacing the handbrake cable. So what I've already done, so you can see, I've just pushed the cable off the bracket, and then you pull this aside and you can see there's a metal where it just here just pushes in. There's a rubber. We'll go underneath and have a look, and yeah, let's go underneath. It's easier to show from underneath. Okay, so I'm very tight and under here, but if we look up, that's where it comes out, right there, right here. So you just pull that grommet out and the whole thing would just drop down. So I'll pull that grommet out for you. The drive shaft's in the way a bit there, but it's right there. Let's get that out of the way and go from there. Okay, so what I did in the end, to be fair, I just manhandled it out. So here it is, that's the one, and it's come out. There's the hole, and then you unclip, pull it out of this clip here. There's a little metal spring clip here that holds on, and then it goes up to the back of the caliper, and there's a bolt right there. So we're going to remove that bolt and then go from there. Right, so let's get that off. So that little bolt was a T30 on the back of that suspension arm. So now all you got to do now is whip the back wheel off so you can line the new cable back up and reattach it to the caliper, and then guide the pipe back in to the body from the inside net. So I'll show you how to do all that. I won't show you how to take the wheel off. Everyone pretty much knows how to take a wheel off by now, so we'll just do the bits that are a little bit more complicated. Right, let's get on to it. Okay, so what I've done is I've put the new cable on the back end side. So I fed the cable back onto the caliper, routed it back up through the car. Now what I'll show you, I'll explain while I'm sat upright because it's a bit squeezed underneath the car. So where the cable goes up into the body, if you look at an angle up into the car, which I'll show you in a minute, you can see the little hole that the metal, there's like an aluminium sleeve that slots through, and that you can see it. If you kind of put your head up, you can guide the metal pipe in. So pull the rubber boot on the handbrake cable down so you can really clearly see where it goes. You guide it up into that hole and just slide the rubber boot. I sprayed some WD-40 on it so the boot slid in nice and easily, and then you just push the boot around. The boot pinches onto the handbrake cable outer, the aluminium outer, and that's it. So I'll show, and then just clip it all back in again, and then we'll go inside to show you how to put it back into its little feet. So we'll go underneath. So that bolt has been replaced back on. There's the caliper and the hanger and the wire back on, and you follow the cable up through. There we go. And as you can see, that's clipped back in here. And as I was saying, if you come right up into this angle here, you can see the rubber boot going in there. Well, with that rubber boot not there, you can see the hole, and you just guide it up in, then slide that boot back up, push it into the hole, feed it around, and that's it. This drive shaft makes it a bit of a pain, but it's not the end of the world. So that's the underside. So you clip it back in, like I said, you clip that one back on, the little metal hook back here on that bolt, and obviously it's back onto the caliper. So let's get back in the car and actually adjust the handbrake properly now. Now as you can see down there, that's the aluminium slip I said about, and you just guide it up through this hole and it sticks out through there. Now we just have to put the cable back onto the feet there. So let's get on to that. Right, little trick for you. You'd be here forever using a 10mm spanner just to do it. So what I do is I use a little wobble drive on a tiny little 8 drive, 10mm deep socket, and just wind the nut all the way back so you can get it basically where it's got to go, and then put the 2 feet in, and then unfortunately you're pretty much gonna have to wind it back up with a 10mm spanner. So it's a slow process, but it is what it is, and you know, it's only time, it's not a cost, so it's your own time. So yeah, I'm just winding it back now, and then I'll get it so the feet, the 2 cables are back in the correct place, and I'll join you there. Right, there you go. you can see both cables are now sat in correctly, so now it's the slow and boring task of winding that 10mm bolt back up the thread until you've got, when you pull the handbrake up, you're on about 3 clicks. You don't want to feel any drag from your back brake, so about 3 clicks is about right. So yeah, let's just wind it in. Okay, so that's it. I've wound it up, and if you watch, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's an extra click there, but I pulled quite hard, and that wheel, obviously by hand, is solid, but it's done. So yeah, there's no stripping down the dashboard. You can do it. It's a bit fiddly, but it means you don't have to take center console out, and it also means you don't have to drop all the heat shields off and that. It is just get underneath and have a bit of a play. It's literally obvious when you get in there. So I hope this has helped, guys. See you in the next one. Cheers, guys.